Welcome back to Dandy Freeze Disc Golf. Today I'm going to be doing an in the bag video. As you can tell by the weather outside, it is firmly in the off season. So I figured this is a good time to do this going into 2023, show you what I have in the bag, what I'm using, all the discs, and the bag itself. So let's jump into it. Before I start, actually, you might be thinking to yourself, you know what? Dan, why are you even bothering doing it in the bag? Like, I don't care what you have in your bag. But the reason I'm doing it is because personally, I watch a lot of disc golf content. I really enjoy watching disc golf content, and I love seeing what's in people's bags. And I know there's other people out there like me as well. I'm not a professional, so these are just the discs that work for my arm speed and what I found success with. But yeah, I don't know. I find this stuff kind of interesting, so I thought you would enjoy it too. So let me know if you do enjoy this kind of stuff. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. But let's start with the putters. Starting off with putting putters, I'm using Challenger SS's. I used to putt with Steadies from DGA, but they were a little bit too difficult to come by, so I ended up changing to these Challengers. They're almost the exact same size and shape, but they're a little bit easier to come by, so I really enjoy the flight of these. It's in the putter plastic, so it has a nice tack to it. Obviously, as you can tell, they beat in pretty quick, so I might have to get some more when the season gets going again as I'm doing some more putting practice and stuff. Yeah, really enjoying these so far. I've been using them for about 6-8 months, and yeah, they've been really great putters so far. On to throwing putters, I'll work down in stability, so my most stable being this Z Zone. Yeah, you know what a zone does, just goes straight and then it dumps hard. Really love it, good for forehand chip shots. It was in the bottom of a lake for about 3 months, but the water didn't change the stability, so I still love the disc. Next, we have the Jawbreaker Zone. This is something that I just picked up recently in this off season, but I've used it for a round or two. This thing is fantastic. I love this disc. Yeah, it has the same stability as the Z Zone, so it'll still dump hard at the end, but I found the difference. The soft, I don't know, the disc is so soft. It feels so good in the hand. Plus, when you throw it, it holds the straight line a little bit longer before it dumps. So it's just a little bit more workable. You can get just a touch more distance when you still need it to go left, but you want it to just go straight a little bit longer. This Jawbreaker Zone is perfect for that. Next, I have a 2021 Tour Series Luna. This thing I throw all the time for everything. This is my go-to throwing putter. So I use this off the tee for long distance shots. I use this for up shots. But yeah, in this premium plastic, it flies so well. If you haven't tried a Tour Series Luna yet, you definitely need to try one like ASAP. And last in my throwing putters, I have a base plastic putter. This is actually the first disc that I ever got from Discraft. It's very beat in, but it flies so good. When you throw it flat, it doesn't just turn and burn, but it kind of flies straight and holds the turnover to the right. If you throw it softer with a little bit more loft, a little more spin, it holds just a soft little Annie. So yeah, that's really great. That's something that I threw back in the bag in this off season as well. I had a Challenger SS in that slot, but it just didn't feel quite as comfortable in the hand as the Luna did. So yeah, really excited to use this thing in the coming season here. Let's go on to mid-ranges. I only have 3 mids in the bag because I do throw my putters so much, so I don't really need a ton. There's a decent amount of overlap in distance with these discs. The most overstable is Big Z Malta. I had a stock Malta, but I found the Big Z is just a touch more stable, which is nice. If you haven't tried a Malta, don't be deceived by the numbers. It's really not as stable as the numbers make it out to be. I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head because it's not stamped on the Big Z, but it's something kind of ludicrous, like a 1.4 or something like that. Like if you're familiar with Mutants from Discmania, you'd think it flies like that, but this thing is actually a whole lot more workable. So if you throw it straight and hard, it'll fade reliably at the end. If you throw it high or on a little bit of hyzer, it'll push really nicely, which is good. So yeah, using this for my overstable mid-range slot. And then you gotta have a buzz in the bag. Been beating it in for a couple months now, so it flies basically dead straight. If you put a little bit on it, you can get it to hold a turnover. It's really nice and straight. I wanted to keep beating this buzz to the point that it would be a turnover disc, that if I threw it flat, it would just turn, but that was just taking far too long. So I ended up getting a Vanessa Van Dyken Meteor 2021 Tour Series as well. This thing straight out of the bag flies exactly how I want that buzz to fly, that understable slot. You throw it flat hard and it kind of just holds to the right the whole time. If you power down on it a little bit, you can get it to fly really straight, and if you hold it on a turnover, you can get it to really sweep to the right. But yeah, this thing's great. Really excited to use this. I had a ESP in the bag a long time ago, and it just ended up beating in too fast and was just too understable. And being more of a beginner player back then, I didn't understand how to throw understable discs like that. I didn't know you had to hyzer flip or kind of just put it higher so it actually has time to pan out. So every time I threw it, it would just turn into a roller, but more of a cut roller, so not even really useful for anything. So yeah, really excited to try this out again in the 2023 season. Those are the mids. Let's go to fairways. So for fairways, I have a lot of different discs. So I kind of broke it into two sections. The first section are 7 speeds. I have a prototype Athena, which is really, really, really fantastic. I love this disc. Just really reliable to throw straight and hard, and it's never going to turn. It's going to push forward as it fades. I thought this color would be an issue in the grass, but it didn't end up being. It's a little bit more poison green, which is nice. So yeah, really, really love this disc. It is such a good disc. And because I love the disc so much, I had to get another one. So I got a first run Athena, and these are less stable actually, which is really fantastic too. So throwing it hard, you can get it to turn a little bit, but it still has that reliable fade. And then lastly, the ESP Stalker. Man, Stalkers are such good discs. They go so far and so straight. Yeah, for being a 7-speed, you can push this thing surprisingly far. Straight out of the box, they're just a little bit overstable, but as they beat in, like this guy, it barely has any fade at all. It is so beautiful. You can throw it dead straight and it just goes for days. On to the second batch of fairways. These are all 9 speeds now. So I have a DGLO CryZtal Raptor, which flies really great, just board flat. A lot of stability in this thing, so great for flex lines, great for something that you need to skip a really long way. After that, I have a Ledgestone ESP FLX Raptor. It is so like flexy. It's very similar to the Jawbreaker Zone actually, in the fact that it's still a Raptor, but it pushes straight a whole lot further before it dumps hard. So it's a lot more usable. I use this way more than I use any kind of Z Raptor or CryZtal Raptor. Just because it's a lot more workable. Onto Undertakers. I have 2 Undertakers in the bag. The more overstable one is this TI Undertaker. I got this in the off season as well, but I had the chance to throw it maybe 30 or 40 times before it really started to snow crazy out here. I have a good idea of how it flies. It's just super straight, has some turn, has some fade, just goes really, really, really straight. And then this guy I've had for about over a year now, actually, and it is really beaten. When I throw this thing hard, it just holds a turn over the whole way. I'm using this for kind of like a big turnover shot. And then after that slot, I have ESP Heat. This is just straight up roller disc. Use this for the occasional really big turnover if I need to, but if anything, this is just gonna be a roller. Yeah, that's the Fairway Drivers. Let's go on to the last slot, the distance driver. So my distance drivers are broken up into 2 different groups. I kind of have control drivers and then distance drivers. So the control drivers, I just have one mold. It's just the Anax. Working down stability, I have this one. That is just like an absolute meat hook. It's crazy. Yeah, it's dyed by Alien Disc Golf out of BC. Yeah, really fantastic guy to work with. He did a fantastic job on this. Look at this thing. It looks sick. Kind of that death metal logo. Super overstable. Yeah, when you need something to really fight the wind, this is a great disc for that. And then I have a different Anax, but this thing's more domey than the other one. It's not like super domey, but saying actually I get it to the point where it's turning over and then coming back again, which is nice. Yeah, if you haven't thrown an Anax, try it out as well. And last but not least, I have my distance drivers. This slot's really easy for me because there's only one disc I have in my distance drivers, and that is the Zeus. All of these are just different Zeuses, mix of plastics. So my most overstable is this limited edition Z Zeus. This thing almost flies a little bit like a force. It won't turn at all. It just basically holds straight. and then dumps. I love the Zeus. The mold just feels so good in the hand. So yeah, this is my most overstable. Next down is this ESP Zeus, really flat. This was dyed by Carrot Top Dyes out of Grand Prairie, Alberta. This thing's super overstable. I was using it for forehands mostly. Throwing on backhand, I get just a little bit of turn on it now as it's breaking in, but it's just reliably overstable. But yeah, less stable than the Z. Next, I have two big Z Zeuses. The first, this white one here, is relatively new in the bag. I got it at the end of the season this year, and it's just starting to break in a little bit. Not a ton yet, but this one will hold almost dead straight for me and then have a little bit of fade. It'll turn just a touch, but it won't dump super hard. It'll kind of push to the end of its flight before it dumps, which is nice. If you struggle to throw Zeuses, I would really recommend big Z Zeuses. They're really great. They feel great, and they have a lot of glide, and they go super far. This big Z Zeus, this orange one, was my workhorse for a long time, and now it's gotten too beaten. So this is a little bit of my turnover disc now. This one, if I throw it hard and flat, it'll hold to the right and then just come out at the last second. So yeah, good for shots that you need to get right, but you can't have them burning over. And then lastly, I have this Zeus. The only thing I don't really like about Zeuses is the fact that out of the box, you never really know what you're going to get. You're going to consistently get a 12 speed that's overstable, but sometimes it just beats in so fast or a little less stable than you expect. This Zeus out of the box was dead straight, and after using it for about a month, it's solely for turnover shots. Throw it high, let it turn all the way over, and then come back right at the end. If you throw it low and hard, it's going to turn into a cut roller. So yeah, this is only for max distance lines. I had a Hades in the bag before, but this disc ended up being understable enough that it actually replaced it completely. So that's actually really great for me. So now I only have one mold. They all feel the same in the hand. They all feel really fantastic. I'm confident with all of them, but they all do a different thing. That is that for the discs. Let's go into the bag itself and what else I'm carrying. The bag, if you watch my in the bag, is a Grip AX5, the Paul McBeth edition. So it has the Paul McBeth logo, the PM down there. Really, really great bag, really comfortable, lots of storage, lots of features. If you want to check that out, watch my unboxing video here where I talk about the features a little bit more. Let's check out what I have in my bag. So first I have a disc retriever. You just got to have a disc retriever. Don't use it too often, but when you do need it, you don't want to be caught without it. So yeah, disc retriever. The pockets here, I have a whale sack, nice coffee beans. Don't use it very often. I don't have super sweaty hands, but for rainy days or when the ground's a little bit wet, this is great to just dry your disc off, dry your hands off so you can feel a little more confident when you're throwing. I have a mini in here, Trash Panda Mini. Check out the other side here. Got some bug spray. You need to have bug spray when you're playing in the woods, especially. And then I have a flight towel. Yeah, this is a great for warming up when you don't have space to actually throw or anything. You can do your warm-ups with this. It's an actual disc, piece of a disc, so it feels natural in the hand when you're doing it, and has the little pouch here for air resistance. Super great towel. Really absorbent too. And then I have a couple Sharpies. Yeah, that's all I have in the bag right now. And last but not least, I have a Bushnell Edge rangefinder. Rangefinder is really useful. I find myself pulling it out at least once or twice around now that I have it. It's just nice to know how far you need to throw sometimes. Really love that. Really useful. But that is that. That's all I have in the bag. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is content that you enjoy because it's content that I enjoy. So I enjoy making it for you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you guys later.